Hey everyone, Bob Thibodeau here. This is the Friday wrap up for your daily leadership tip. This week, I've been telling you different facts about 5 tips to better presentations. This week, we've been going over a lot of different aspects of what can be commonly referred to as public speaking. It's really an art form that's learned. Very few people are born as public speakers. Even those who are naturally comfortable in a public setting can still learn a thing or two to become better. Now, on Monday, I emphasized knowing your topic. You cannot speak or teach others something that you're not knowledgeable about yourself. You need to have, in order to be a good presenter, a good speaker on a certain topic, you need to know more about it than the majority of the other people in your audience. That doesn't mean you need to be a PhD expert on it. It just means you need to know more about it than other people so you can share what you know. Because if you stand up there and try and fake it, I can guarantee you're going to get called out on it and you're going to lose 100% credibility. You'll probably never be invited to speak on that topic again. So if you're trying to learn something, do the study, become an expert on it before you start trying to teach others about it. On Tuesday, I discussed about knowing your audience. If you're presenting to a group of Harvard or high school students, your presentation is going to be different than if you're speaking to Harvard PhD graduates. If you're going to be speaking to a plumber's audience, you don't want to be discussing roofer topics. You need to be on subject, on topic for the group you are in front of. On Wednesday, I talked about a very effective technique that I have used for 30 years. And I learned this in the military, and it's how to help calm your nerves by not making eye contact. That's right. I know that flies in the face of traditionalism when it comes to public speaking about make eye contact with your audience. But if you're nervous and you start making eye contact with people, you're going to start noticing, are they paying attention to me? Are they yawning? Are they taking notes? Are they just that blank stare, deer in the hair, like, what is he talking about? And you're going to start having all these different thoughts. The best way to calm those nerves and avoid that from happening in the first place is avoid making eye contact. But as a speaker, you're supposed to make eye contact. So what do? Go back and watch the video. I go into detail on it, but in summary right here, I just pick a spot on the wall and look directly over their heads, over here, center, middles. Just avoid making the personal eye contact unless you have established a relationship with someone in the audience, perhaps before your presentation began. It's okay to make eye contact with them because you're connecting. You're drawing that energy from that person. But if you're in front of 2,000 people and you've only met 10 and you don't know where they're sitting in the audience, just don't be looking for them. Just avoid eye contact and use the techniques which I outlined on Wednesday's video. Also, I taught you Wednesday about the power of the pause. Every presenter, every speaker at some point in time will lose their place. And you're standing up on that stage, you're halfway through the presentation, and you forgot the next point. Instead of just saying, give me a second, I forgot what my next point was. Now, instead of doing that, just pause. Take that pause. You're on a roll, and then what's my next point? And then use that pause to gather your thoughts and guide it back on track. You can use the power of blocking on stage, where when you're making this point, you're on this side pointing to this portion of the audience, and then you're in the middle, and then over here, and you know that you've done the first 3, so you're in the middle. Okay, what's point 4? Okay, got it. All this happens in just 1 or 2 seconds. If after 1 or 2 seconds you're still confused, just ask a question. How many of you understand what I just talked about, and you can use that in your presentation? And you'll see hands going. How do you use that? Give me a couple examples where you would use something like that. And while they're answering your question, you're running your head. Okay, it's there for part 1, 2, 3. I'm on 4. What's part 4? What's point 4? Oh yeah, okay, got it. So after you answer 2 or 3 questions or gather that info from the audience, you acknowledge it. You tell, that's right, you guys are awesome. Now point 4 is, and you just drive right on. They'll never know you were momentarily lost. It's a great technique. A lot of professional presenters have used that over the years, and it does work. Okay, then Thursday, I talked about the importance of practicing your presentation. It doesn't matter how much of an expert you are. I have 30 years of leadership experience, team building experience. I've taught others how to do it. And there are still going to be times when I just have to practice. I know the material well enough that if I just get called on from hey, Bob, can you come up here and share some, things about how to do public speaking better? Yeah, I can get up there and I can wing it. Not a problem. But if I'm giving a presentation where I've been hired and brought in to present a particular subject matter to an audience, I'm going to rehearse every single detail of that presentation. Why? Because I want to be the absolute best I can be. And the only way that you can really practice it is either do it in front of people and get their feedback, or take a video of yourself giving the presentation. If it's an audio only presentation, like a podcast, something like that, record yourself. Catch yourself doing, and then, stop using stuff like that. Just continue on, eliminate those. And a lot of times you don't even know you're doing it unless you see yourself doing it or listening to yourself do it. That's the importance of practicing. All right. Now, next week, we're going to be covering a whole new subject matter. And I know you're going to want to come back for it. But the tips we gave you this week, the tips we've gone over this week, will help you to become better at giving those presentations. If you practice them, implement them, know your audience, know your topic, practice, and you will become a better presenter. Come back next week. We're looking forward to what we're going to be talking about. I'm not going to give any hints on it. You got to come back and see us next week, because I will see you then. Bye-bye.